Hello guys, long time no see. It's 2026 now. I'll be starting with my first HunterxHunter What If video. Since Meruem and Ant-Kite are twin siblings, and there's lots of interesting elements to this, I thought, hey, what if Meruem took control of his little sister Ant-Kite? I mean, hey, if he's the Chimera Ant King, then I'm sure she'll be the Chimera Ant Princess. I thought of giving her an alternative name, a Chimera Ant Princess name, as she doesn't have any memories of her past life just yet. So I think the Chimera Ant Queen or Meruem give her the name Komana. I think it's a good fitting name for a Chimera Ant Princess, and it's got two meanings depending on which kanji you use. Before I start the what if, in the original timeline, Meruem abandoned the queen, not knowing about his unborn sister, as he sees himself as a pinnacle of evolution. If Meruem did find out somehow, he'd probably ignore it or probably kill it. However, we can actually twist that, ensuring that Meruem might actually reconsider the child, where he lets the queen incubate the princess, feeding half of what he had, and sees some potential in using her. We begin our what if with Meruem already being born, like in main timeline. However, he doesn't kill his mother's subordinates just yet. Meruem has enhanced senses. He actually senses the unborn twin inside the queen. The queen begs for Meruem to spare his unborn little sister. She immediately names him Meruem on the spot. Meruem is intrigued out of respect, as she was the one who gave birth to him, as she still sees him as the pinnacle of evolution, and this could just be her little princess. Meruem might see this unborn princess as an extension of himself. He tells and orders Pitou to heal the queen. The queen feeds her unborn princess all the nutrients that Meruem left, as he consumed all the big stuff, while she gets the small stuff. As Meruem goes to villages with his royal guards, eating humans and gaining some more nutrition, he and some Chimera Ant packs retrieve some human nutrition so the queen could eat. The king wants to make sure that he's the strongest and that she has less nutrients than him, so instead of eating 250 humans per day, like with Meruem, she now eats 125 for her princess. So at least she's strong enough to interest the king, as she could be some special Chimera Ant princess. While Meruem is the ultimate Chimera Ant King, the queen bonds with her unborn princess in a motherly way. Not as a weapon, but as something precious to protect. But unbeknownst to the queen, Meruem orders Poof to subsequently mind control his little sister, programming loyalty, obedience, and fear within the unborn princess. Make sure to keep her in line, to make sure that memories from a potential previous life do not interfere and possibly might never surface. However, the queen would be against this, hence why they keep it a secret from her.
It's finally happening. The birth of the princess, our king's little sister.
The princess of the Chimera Ants bursts out of the queen's abdomen, just like her brother prior to this. She comes out looking beautiful yet terrifying, almost like Meruem's little doll. She had long red hair, freckles, her brother's long ears, her mother's antennas, her brother's head patterns, her brother's tail, and lastly, her brother's eyes, almost capturing his aura. So she's unmistakably his precious little sister that he now has control of. As the queen lays dying, she reaches out for both her children, but she sees both her children's reactions in absolute horror. She realizes too late that her new child is under the influence and mind control of Meruem/Poof, and then dies in absolute sadness for both Meruem and Komana. The princess collapses. Meruem catches her in time. Her eyes start to show a hypnotic pattern, reflecting the mind control Poof and Meruem used. Meruem is satisfied with what he's gained.
You are my younger sister. I name you Komana, the Chimera Ant Princess. You will not crawl in the dark. You will rise with me.
Now being a 5-member team instead of 4, Meruem still takes over the palace like in the main timeline, especially with the performers begging for their lives and Meruem criticizing them. However, a smile creeps up on Komana's face, idolizing and praising her big brother for calling them out. Part of it feels rehearsed and puppeted, like she's his doll, following commands or programming. And Meruem are proud that she's following her programming. Komana trains with Meruem, Yuppie, and Pitou. Much like in canon, Meruem meets Komugi, the gongi player. She plays gongi with both Meruem and his sister Komana, and she easily beats both of them. They try playing together against her, but she beats them when they're together as well. This is where we start to see cracks in Komana's hypnosis mind control. Meruem starts to secretly bond with Komugi, and sooner or later, Komana does as well. When we get to Meruem ripping off his own arm, this deeply traumatizes and torments Komana. She screams in panic. She even rips her own arm off to try to be equal to him to make him feel better. It is a bit of a callback to how she lost her arm in a previous life. Meruem acknowledges the panic, stress, and trauma he cost his sister. Would justify it saying he's toughening her up as he's testing her programming, pushing it to the limits. Dr. Blythe heals the siblings. Komana starts growing attached to Pitou. Pitou sees the bond of Meruem and Komugi forming, so she decides to bond with her princess as a big sister out of some compassion. After all, Komana is the little sister of the king that she must protect. She even got the king's permission. Meruem starts doubting whether it was right to keep his sister under mind control. Felt some concern for her before hardening himself when she was freaking out, but was disturbed when she tore off her own arm for him, because this is when she showed genuine emotion for him instead of a programmed smile, showing cracks within the mind control. As Meruem sees her hurt Komugi like last time, most of it plays out, but he also thinks of his sister. Part of him now wants to undo the mind control. She'd still be loyal to him and love him for who he is. Meanwhile, in Komana's chamber, Komana dreams about some buried memories of being Kite, protecting a little kid named Gon. She doesn't know why she cries every time she wakes up, as she wants to protect her big brother/king. Pitou comforts her every night. A few days pass, and Poof is starting to act like an asshole to both Komugi and Komana, accusing her of disobeying her programming. Really, she's starting to act herself, shows genuine love for her brother, and she has fun with both Komugi and Pitou. Meruem showed up and told Poof that Pitou asked for permission and he gave it. Poof is forced to act normal, but still strongly resents Komugi and slowly starts to resent Meruem's sister. At this point, Meruem's still all about conquest, but at least he has the whole protect the weak thing going on here. Komana, on the other hand, is very grateful to both Meruem and Pitou. However, she is keeping secrets about her dream from Meruem and promises Pitou to not tell him at all. She even makes it an order, telling her that it should not concern the king. And besides, she hates violence and sadism. Pitou, out of her kindness, promises to keep her away from that, always washing her hands before interacting with Komana. Meruem slightly gains more humanity playing gongi with both Komana and Komugi, learning strategic moves but losing anyway. Komana still has secret memories of her past life unknowingly, but still keeps them a secret. Now let's move on to the palace invasion. Boy, this will get emotionally devastating. The fight with Yuppie plays out mostly the same until Komana shows up to support Yuppie, treating him similar to how Kite used to treat Gon. He slowly starts to recognize Gon from her dreams. While he still loosely keeps his guard up, he realizes this is Kite reincarnated. Gon tries to reason with her, getting her on his side, but Komana suppresses her feelings of familiarity, saying that she'll do anything to protect her big brother, and that her brother's words are absolute. She says that her past life doesn't matter right now. Gon thinks about the best moments he's had with Kite. He doesn't blame Meruem, he just blames Pitou, saying that she did this to Kite, saying that Pitou wanted to make an extension of the king, and he claims that he'll make Pitou pay and bring Kite back to normal. Gon even compares what Pitou did to Kite, what the Joker did to Tim Drake in the Batman Beyond movie, but worse. Komugi gets caught in Netero's bomb explosion like usual. This temporarily breaks the simp within Meruem. Pitou is brought to tears due to Meruem's emotional condition. Meruem commands her to heal Komugi. This makes her feel relieved as she believes that she could save the thing that makes Meruem happy, that makes him human and peaceful. Komana comes to her as she wants to protect Komugi as well, especially from intruders. Gon shows up like normal, witnesses Pitou healing Komugi, but Komana is right next to them. He still gets emotional, but with a whole twisted context. This time it's all about Kite. Talks about important memories he had with Kite. Pitou killed Kite and used his body as a puppet. Gon demands Pitou to fix Kite's mind back to normal. Pitou tells him that he has to wait like in canon. Komana starts to sense her old memories from her previous life as Kite, as she is shocked about the truth. When Pitou finishes healing Komugi, Gon and his friends have Pitou cornered sorted and keep Komugi safe. Komana tells her that she is sacrificing her role as the king's little sister, all for Meruem. Pitou is forced to use Dr. Blythe on Komana's mind. Proof can't intervene because Pitou doesn't leave with Gon like in canon, so he fights outside and then heals Meruem alongside Yuppie. Komana gains all her memories of her previous life. Gon is finally relieved that his mentor is back. She rejects her aunt named Komana. She is Kite.
I've always known. I still have memories from inside of the womb. Some of my memories didn't match with what I'd been told. That's how I knew. My first memory is being in a dark liquid. I could hear a lullaby from somewhere. All of it's in fragments, but in high detail.
Pitou feels betrayed in some way. She now has Komugi to protect.
She's concerned they'll keep her as a hostage.
Despite being enemies, they still respect her willingness to protect what the king loves. Kite would not let Gon beat up Pitou, especially out of revenge, as that was what Kite was against. But if Pitou tries to attack, Kite would not hesitate and take out her big sister, as she grew to be stronger. And the last time she ran into Pitou when she was still a dude.
When Meruem shows up, he tells the hunters he's dying from the poison. The hunters tell him about Komugi, which jogs his memory back. Meruem kills Poof like normal. He sees Pitou and Komugi and Kite. He tells them that he's dying and there's nothing they can do to save him. All he wants is to play with Komugi in peace, as he says he's given up conquest. He says goodbye to his little sister. Kite plays along to not disrupt his moment. Meruem dies peacefully with Komugi, and Pitou tears up. Part of Kite feels sad, but she controls it. Now, we could go two different ways. One, where Pitou dies protecting the bodies of Meruem and Komugi, succumbing to the poison and joining the star-crossed lovers of East Gordo, fulfilling her purpose and choosing to respect her princess's choices, ending on some peacefully mutual terms. Or number two, where Pitou respects her king and his girlfriend and now wants to serve the princess. Personally, I'm going with the first one as it's more in character for Pitou, especially for the decisions she makes in this timeline. In the end, God wouldn't have to go down a dark path, break his promise, and lose his Nen. Here, he's able to be saved and keeps his Nen. Unlike the original timeline where he views Pitou as nothing but an irredeemable monster at the end of the series, here he actually acknowledges some of her redeeming qualities while still not forgiving her, but it ends on some mutual terms. I think the rest of the epilogue plays out normally, with Killer rescuing Aluka, not because he wants to heal Gon, because he's already healed, he's just doing it for her sake. Most of the election arc would play out the same.
It would involve Pierston and Jing. Gon would sneak up and say hi to his dad, I guess, talk about everything and whatnot. And it pretty much ends with Gon less traumatized. And that was what if Meruem took control of Ant-Kite. I really hope you guys enjoyed this what if. I wonder how you feel about the theatrics and cutscenes that I made up. I did this for the interesting emotional tension, story dynamic, and nuances. Let me know what moment in this what if is your favorite. And as always, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.